From the battles fought to the words unsaid, through heavy burdens, the paths we tread, from the songs we sing to the fears we face, we find our strength in shared embrace. Voices rising, hearts awake, through every moment, the steps we take. Discuss the pain, reflect the fire, transform the dark, lift each heart higher. Courage to converse, a bridge to start, healing the world, one open heart. An open heart.
Welcome to Courage to Converse, where we discuss tough topics, reflect on personal experiences, and explore paths for growth and understanding. Before we dive in, I want to acknowledge that some conversations may touch on sensitive or challenging issues. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for professional advice or support. If you or someone you know is struggling, resources are available to help. In the U.S., you can call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or text HOME to 741-741 to reach the crisis text line. Remember, our goal here is to spark meaningful conversations while fostering respect, understanding, and personal growth. So let's get started.
All right, welcome back to Courage to Converse. As you can see, I have two of these goofballs with me. Landon in the red shirt. This is my son, and then his buddy Danny here is joining us tonight to have a good conversation about music across generations, different tunes, but the same bond. This is one that Landon and I came up with several months ago. Well, I won't say several, maybe 2 months ago, where we were debating over whose music was better, who has a better sound, and we actually started a post on Instagram, wasn't it? We did it on Instagram.
On a story.
Yeah, and we said, let's post your music, or not necessarily my music, but one song versus that I would listen to versus a song you would listen to, and you're like, oh, my friends are going to trash me so bad, and you know, but although these are sometimes they get into heated debates, they're good bonding moments for us. We get to spend some time together and talk trash and in good spirit, though. So that's what today's conversation is about. You know, not to say anybody's music is better than the other or anything like that. All music, I think, is a form of art, you know, and it helps. Sometimes it helps people through some tough moments and things like that.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about some of that, and this would be a good time just to spend some time with my boy a little bit and his buddy Danny. Two good kids, you know, trying to find their way in life right now. So let's get started. Before we do get started, do y'all have anything you want to say?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like we got to go into the topics first.
Gotcha. So a couple things I want to mention. Tonight, got some more ink therapy. I want to shout out to Sabrina Savage again. If y'all are in the Middle Georgia area in May, go ahead and hit up the Ink Nation Tattoo Southern Classic Expo, March 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's going to be a good family fun experience. We're going to be there with the nonprofit, promoting Terran Highway 127 and everything, and going to have a good time. The other thing I want to shout out is this Shenanigans Shamrock Escape. It's going to be kind of hard to see because we have a green screen and there's a lot of green in this picture, but this is an event we got going on March 15th and 16th with our nonprofit. It's an outdoor escape room. Bring your friends, the more the merrier. It's a big fun event that we're planning on putting on here. We're practicing this weekend, going to do some friends and family events this weekend, practice some of our makeup and things like that as well, some of our looks that we're going to have for the event. So let's get started. We're going to talk about something deeply personal and yet universally relatable, music. Music preferences often highlight generational differences, but they also have a unique way of bringing people together. This is what Landon and I do quite often, you know, even though he thinks I get angry and all that, it's in fun, making sure that he understands that everybody has opinions and, you know, whether the music sounds good or not, we do find similar tastes, whether it's rap or even over the past year, Landon's even listened to some metal, you know?
Yep.
So you got to have an open mind with some of these things, just like most things in life. If you stick with a closed mindset, then, you know, how are you going to grow? How are you going to learn?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, I prefer heavy metal. Landon enjoys a lot of rap, a lot of noise. if you ask me. But it's not really noise. Again, he finds a way to.
Same thing with heavy metal.
Yeah, he loves lots of, and he'll get into it. We actually had a good conversation about it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's hard to explain, but we'll get in there. So exploring the contrast between my preference of heavy metal and your preference, and probably your preference too. I think you tend to lean more towards a hip hop R&B type rapish sound versus the music you're producing, anyways.
Yeah, more like melodic type of things. I like tuning in more to the melody and having more of like a type of thing that hooks the person onto like this catchy tune,
right?
And just building off of that. That's kind of where more of my expertise when making music and listening to music,
right?
Is.
When did you start making music?
I think like 2022 is when I started getting programs on my computer.
Right.
Well, I started on like a little MacBook and everything. But I started getting programs on my computer, and then obviously I found BandLab, and after that it was just uploading beats on YouTube, trying to make some beats on BandLab, just experimenting with like production level type of things, and like, oh yeah, I can make this and replicate some things I heard. But yeah, that was really more of the start of my music career.
So you're producing your own beats?
No, in a sense, to where the songs that we have made and the songs that I have made, they're not necessarily produced, but
They're more so like, there's like, we add like certain things to it where it's like.
So you're adding beats and melodies to other music that you're buying or downloading or something like that, or you're just adding your lyrics to it, or both?
It's both. It's because I can say, the previous songs that I have, like my personal singles, it was of course beats that were, from a producer on YouTube and everything, but then it was just kind of mixing up the beat and because after that I bought it, I have the lease for it, and just adding like sounds, adding recreating this, whatever it is to the song. That's really what I've done a lot. But I have had like an experience with making beats on FL Studio, obviously on my computer and everything. Which I get the general, like the gist of it. But obviously I'm not like super knowledge in it.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Right. What about you, Landon? I know your story, but let's let the world hear your story about how you got into music and how you started like wanting to produce and all that stuff.
So whenever I got into music was like, so I never really listened to music like elementary school, even like middle school. I never listened to music. Like I heard it on the radio in Malwa, and I was just like, if I would only hear pop, and I'd be like, this doesn't sound good. I thought that was the only genre of music, really, to be honest. Like I thought that was the only genre of music. But everybody in middle school would always talk about like low pump, and they'd be like, oh, this song is fire, and I'd be like, what are y'all talking about? But I got into music around like 8th grade during quarantine, because like during that time I was like alone. I didn't have anything to do, so I got on Spotify and then just started scrolling, and I found Coach Ice. He's really good. And then once I found him, I couldn't stop. Right. It would just like show me like related artists. Like I scroll down and there's like a little thing on Spotify, this little like feature, and it shows you like artists that are related to it. Right. Well, I did listen to Playboy Cardi in 7th grade, but still same thing. But so I listened to music for a couple of years, and it was like my sophomore year, and I was like, dang, I really want to make music. Like I didn't want to rap, because I thought that was impossible. Right. Like I was like, I don't know how they get on there.
What's this white boy gonna do?
Get on there. I was like, no, there's no way. But since I had such an interest in it, I just was like, I'm gonna try to produce instead, because I like beats. Mm-hmm. I liked all the rappers I listened to. More so, I used to like the beats a lot, but the more older I'm getting, I'm starting to like the flows and everything, lyrics. But I wanted to produce, and then I started it, and I was like, nah, this is way too hard, and I gave up like automatically. like literally automatically.
I remember those days.
Yeah, and I disappointed you like that, but
Disappointed only because you gave up.
yeah, I gave up, and I wasn't really interested in it. I was not interested in producing that wise. And then a couple years go by, and I met Danny. We started hanging out a lot, and I know he made some music like previously, but I didn't really listen to it. But I went to his house, and we made a song. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was really fun, like just rapping.
Right.
I know like a lot of people don't like rapping, but it was just fun. It was a fun song. We made one song, and we made a little music video thing for it, which is never gonna be out there. But
Never say never.
Huh?
Never say never. Or
Yeah, I know.
It won't be out there because you're ashamed of it. And there's
No, I'm not ashamed of it at all. Oh, technically, it's on Danny's Instagram, but
Yeah.
we didn't put like the music over it. But yeah, we did that, and it was really fun. And then ever since then, I went a couple months without it, and then I just got like, how do we start making music? We just made a random song again back in like
What was it? That Trying song?
Trying.
The second one.
Yeah, it was the second one.
Because
And
we were like, oh yeah, let's look. Because we were looking at like type beats on YouTube, and
Yeah,
then we found this one, and then we were like, oh yeah, let's try to make something on it.
yeah, because on YouTube they have these things that are called like type beats, and like artists that we listen to, we'll look up like we like their sound or like their beats, and we'll like look up the type beat, like
Playboy Cardi.
yeah, Playboy Cardi type
That's
beat,
exactly what
and then it'll
yeah.
be those type of beats, and we kept on doing it over and over again, and then me and him were making so many songs with each other, and I was just like, I don't know, I like doing this like a lot, and then got the laptop recently, and I've just been doing it every day,
Right.
every single day, and I love doing it, even if it's not the best or the lyrics aren't crazy. I just like doing it. It's fun. It's really
Try
fun.
different things, see what sounds good, what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, if you compare, like, for example, for him, like, if you compare it from like when he started, like when we made that one song the first time, and then up until now, you know, like a song that he was working on like yesterday and stuff. It's like, yeah, like you can see, even if it's not like super crazy, because I mean, obviously we're not at like a huge level or anything.
You're not the next Kanye?
No. I don't want to be the next Kanye. Don't want to be the next Kanye.
Certain levels maybe, but certain
Music maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But you see the comparison as in like how he's grown and everything, and like especially because I was pushing. It was like months ago, like in these months and everything. I was pushing for him more to get on his melodic side because I knew he could do it. I know he can tap in more into his like melodic side because it was just like straight up like monotone rapping, which isn't bad and everything because obviously you have to still get good at your lyricals, right? But yeah, I kind of pushed him to kind of lean in more into his like melodic stuff, and then like it like for me, like when I saw it, when he actually tried to do it, it was like, oh yeah, you unlocked this, yeah. But it's a good significant like growth from him from like when we started.
It's good to see y'all working together, because you can be your own worst critic, right? And then you hear other people tell you you're good, and you're just telling me that. No, but hearing you,
yeah, and you gotta be honest. Like he'll send me a song, and I'll be completely honest, and I'll send him a song, and he'll be completely honest.
Yeah. It's not just like there's a difference between like actual
a
like,
yes man and like someone who's actually gonna tell you the truth, like a real friend.
Yeah, like
I like this, I don't like that. You can do a little more here. I've done that to both of y'all. You both send me a song, and I'm like, a little too much.
I sent all my songs to you. I sent all my songs to you.
Yeah.
And that actually, speaking of autotune, let's talk a little about the influence about the cultural and technological changes over the years, right? One of the big things happening right now, and you both well know, is autotune.
Yep.
How does autotune play a role in today's music? Like, why do you think it's used so much?
You want to go first?
Yeah, it makes everything sound good. It makes everything sound good. Like, I feel like even for singers that can like really sing, they still use autotune.
They do.
Every artist uses autotune, and I feel like if it wasn't used,
you gotta be like Bruno Mars. Like Bruno Mars, he sounds perfect.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, but still, like if it isn't used, it probably won't have the same effect.
A lot of the music industry would not be where they're at right now.
What about sometimes I tell you I think y'all are overusing it, because it's totally changing your voice. Like it doesn't even sound like y'all sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that it's a generational thing that people like that non-natural sound.
It's definitely generational. Well, it depends. I don't know. It depends. It's mostly people like our age. Like, I'd say from like even 10 to like 20, 26 to 27 is where it cuts off. Like those type of like age range, like that right there is where I think a lot of people like the auto tune, because that's
the Gen Zers.
Yeah, because people
2000 to and now, well, not now.
Well, auto tune started all the way with Kanye. Kanye, like in rap, like the rap era, like Kanye, T-Pain, all of them. T-Pain was like the originator of auto tune.
Yeah.
But auto tune's been around forever. I don't know why people act like it hasn't been. It's been around forever. It's just evolving.
It's just been more like comfortably used up into a point where like if you can't sing at all, it'll make you sound.
It'll enhance your voice and make you sing, and then that could create different ideas and just creative things.
Kind of like Jimi Hendrix and folks making their guitars talk.
Yeah.
It does different things to your voice to add to it. I understand that, but like when it's overused, I say overused, when it's used to completely change your voice, you call it the baby voice or something.
Yeah, something.
Well,
that's just because
like the baby sound.
I do.
Some of it sounds good. Again, these are opinions. We talk about opinions here all the time.
Yeah.
This is fact.
Music is subjective.
Right. So I think your voice, when I can hear your voice sounds natural. Adding a little bit of autotune makes it sound really good. Adding too much autotune, it's not you anymore. That's where I look at it. You know what I mean?
I see that.
There's a lot of like there's a good amount of levels to it, because like we said, it's being a lot more like comfortably used, and you can see it a lot more in like the underground, like a lot more like people that
like Shay. Yeah, like him, like his stuff is like completely like
it's complete auto-tune.
Auto-tune, but
you can't even understand them.
It's just I don't know how to explain it. It sounds good to my ears. I don't know why. I don't know why. It just
because you explain the music you listen to, and I'm like, what the hell? There's like too much going on. But to me, I get like distraught with too many sounds going on. I don't know if it's my ADD mind or what. But you are like. You like all of the elements of the music in there.
But I can say like heavy metal, same thing.
Oh, I would say the same thing with heavy metal too. Like a lot of like death metal.
Like you don't even. I cannot tell what they're saying sometimes. They're
some of it's just too much. Like I'll change some of that because it's just like all you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a little bit of it's okay.
Yeah.
But if that's all you're doing, too much.
Want to be able to hear you. Yeah. Want to be able to hear them. Yeah.
Adding some type of element to it's different. All right, so I know this is something you've been wanting to talk to me about for a while now.
I think I already know.
All right, so we're going to talk about talent and value in music, right? We talk about auto-tune and you call them ad-libs.
Yeah.
Right? And perceived talent. You mentioned... what was his name you guys went into the concert with?
Shay.
Like, so a lot of people will call that rap, like mumble rap and things like that, because you can't hear a thing that they're saying. And like, I think they have a lot of hype, so I give them credit for that. However, a lot of the music that they have, he probably doesn't produce any of his music.
He does.
He produces his own music? All of it.
Not all of it, but he produces a lot of it. There's videos of it too. And Pretty Fun. Pretty Fun's a really good artist. He does like a baby voice. Like I've showed you him before. But he produces all his stuff.
He sings. Now, I talk about, good music and lyrical depth and things like this. Like, he's played some music for me, and this is one of the debates we get into a lot. Damn, I need to go over there.
Yeah, it's blinding me.
We get into debates about lyrical songs and non-lyrical and things like that. If you took the lyrics of a lot of the rappers' songs, they probably have 30 unique words through the whole thing. Otherwise, they're just repeating the same thing over and over and over and over.
Just in a different way. Yeah.
But
jump out the house.
Not that one.
Jump out the house.
It's more so like the rhythm and the flow and how catchy it is for me. Like I could listen like I'm gonna keep on bringing up Shay. but that's how most of his music is. But some of his songs, he's literally saying like, I'm not even kidding, like maybe like 12 words, but he'll say it the whole song. But for some reason it I don't know.
I think they have good hype. Like it gets people going, and that's what people enjoy.
Well, that's what most of the underground stuff is. It's all hype, and it gets the crowd moving.
Right.
It's feeling. It's more of just feeling and excitement. Like you said, hype. Yeah. It's. I don't think it's really leaned in more to like listen.
Philosophical. Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna come out here and da 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 da. Not that it's bad. I love Kendrick Lamar. Yeah.
No, I understand, and I like coming up. I listened to a lot of like punk bands and stuff like that, and that had a lot of hype. What are you laughing at? So they don't like this. Hey, Drake.
But yeah.
Was that cringy?
Yes.
We're about to get into the next segment about this talent and so-called talent and things like that as well. But Netta Lannon's been waiting and itching to talk to me about it. But these are natural conversations that we have. None of this stuff is rehearsed. He's tried to have conversations with me specifically about this topic for the past couple of weeks, and I won't have them with him because I want them to be natural conversations during this time. So you can kind of see...
Yeah, because I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah, it's passion, anger, frustration.
No, I'm not angry.
So the next thing I want to talk about, we talked about the lyrical depth. We talked about the emotional connection. It's more about... A lot of the music you are listening to is about getting the mood set and going and hyped up and things like that. It's not about... I know there's some music
No, there's a lot of music I listen to. I listen to more than just rap. I listen to a bunch of stuff. I listen to like indie music. I listen to, like you said, a little bit of rock. I listen to a lot of stuff that has meaning. I don't listen to just rap. And there's rap that has meaning too.
And a lot of the music that you like... You mentioned COVID, right? During COVID, we literally sat at our kitchen table because we didn't have anything to do. We were playing card games and Uno and things like that. And that's when I put on his music, right? I was listening to, it was XXX, it was Cardi, it was...
Juice WRLD.
Huh?
Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD, a lot of Juice WRLD. And I was like, I like this vibe. Like, I like this music, and that's when I really started listening to what he was listening to, and...
Yeah, like Cardi has some good songs too that are more than just...
I'll bump some of the Cardi and, Trippie Redd. When I had that system in my truck, Trippie Redd had some music that would hit, man. Mm-hmm. I loved it. But we can vibe together and just listen, and he was like, you guys so angry. I'm like, no, I'm just asking questions and we're debating. We'll literally call Danny, we'll call Josh, we'll call all their other buddies, and I'm like... And Lance's getting all mad at me, and then I get like, I'm getting so mad. But, it's fun times. So one of the things that we talk about a lot, like all these generational things, and that's kind of what this topic is about generational differences in music and things like that. Our parents growing up would tell us the same thing that we're telling you, all that noise, and it's a cycle, right? But I think the difference between my generation and my parents' generation and then my generation, your generation, is our generation came up with the more
laid back,
the rap and all. We grew up with the rap, and rap has evolved a lot since rap was
crazy
back in the day. So I think that's why we listen to a lot of the 2000s rap, early 90s.
I still listen to 2000s rap too.
So I like the more open-minded.
I like the
to it.
That stuff too. The what's it called?
Snoop Dogg.
What's that genre called? It's called like boom bap or something like that. Something like that. I don't know.
Boom bap.
I don't know. Something like that.
What's a song?
No, that's what the genre's called. It's like 93 to Infinity, that type of stuff. I was listening to that a lot during quarantine.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'll have to listen to it. So, with that said, you guys got anything to add to it before we get into this next topic? I'm purposely waiting to talk about.
So just talent and stuff.
So right now, who's your... Actually, I want to give a shout out. What's your name on Spotify and YouTube and all that?
It's Nrka, Nrka.
Go and listen to his music. I'm very proud of him with the things he's doing with his music, the way he's sounding. It is very melodic. You listen to it, he's singing, and it sounds really good. Landon's starting to get into the music as well.
I just got DistroKid the other day, where you can release on all platforms. So hopefully I should be releasing a lot on there soon now.
So you gotta give anybody credit that's hustling and doing the thing. You know what I mean? During the haunt and everything, I played all the music that Danny had out at the time. You know, because I liked it. Like I could.
It's catching.
Like, this is Danny. Like for real. You know. So we played it, and you know, go out there, listen to it, share it, and then Landon, he's doing his thing too. You know, he's not giving up this time. He's going forward, and you know, I give him my honest feedback. You know, like there's one he sent me. I'm like, who is this? He's like, that's me. I'm like, what? My favorite one so far.
Yeah.
You know, and then they got a music. What's the song together we were listening to on the way back from Lanes?
Listen to all of them.
Yeah, but there was one I was like, that's my favorite one with both of y'all.
What's your ETA? What's your ETA? What's your ETA?
No, was it the All My Life one?
Oh yes,
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's out there, right? On
no, it's not out yet.
We're trying to do a little like album thingy.
I don't think we can release an album yet. I think it's gonna have to be an EP.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
It's gonna have to be an EP.
Listen to it. Wait for it.
And my name is I'm gonna shout out myself. RXSKEY.
Risky.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what we say?
Yeah.
Risky with an X.
With an X.
A
little bit.
Yeah. All right there.
Is that better? Hello.
I think so.
Okay.
All right, so finding a common ground with each other, right? You know, we've gone on trips and stuff, and we created like a playlist, and we all add our music together, right? Just so we can understand each other's music. You remember we had a list of like, I probably still have it on Spotify. Was it Spotify or was it was on Spotify?
It was Spotify.
There's like 300 songs that we put on there, but that's all we listened to the whole time we were on that trip, on the road trip, traveling there, traveling back, right? Do you think that's important that we do those types of things?
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
Because it.
Not to put you on the spot or anything. No pressure.
I don't know. It can create like similarities and like bonding time and I don't know. Just like
You think you can strike up
I
conversation?
can't think.
That'll put you on the spot. But
I couldn't think.
Nothing wrong with that. What's
Oh,
up?
sorry.
Go ahead.
I think it's pretty important. I guess because like it's always the basic answer. It's we all gotta understand our different tastes. We all gotta understand where we're coming from and why we like this. And you know, it's like you can't just say like, oh, well, that sucks. Okay, why? Why do you think that? It's like, oh no, it just sucks. I don't like it. Well, that's not a good argument.
Right.
It's like you can not like a song, but you have to have a reason why. And then
You gotta have an open mind.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then also like adding all those songs in there, you get like familiar with them. Like you listen to the playlist all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll like listen to this song, you'll be like, oh, it sucks, and then you come back to it, and then it keeps playing over and over again because you're listening to that playlist, and then you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. Like that's how I am with a lot of music, you know.
It grows on you.
Yeah, it grows on
That's
you.
how you grew on the metal, right? And
Yeah, I hated it,
but then when you actually you listen to the melody, you listen to the music,
the beat, any of it.
That's a lot of heavy metal. Like that's how I calm down.
Yeah.
You know, because it is a lot of noise, but the heavy, and especially if it's a lot of double bass with the drums and heavy bass with the guitar, like
it's like canceling out how you feel. Yeah,
I love it. You know, but when you start listening to the heavy metal, they start getting the heavy like rhythm guitars, like high pitched shit.
You're like, oh
yeah,
like a little bit is fine, you know, to me. But let it keep going. But some people are like, guitar solo, right?
Dragon Force.
Yeah,
that is heavy on that. Yeah.
You know, that's how the auto-tune thing is with me. You know, putting it in there and injecting it is cool. And you know, T-Pain, he's like borderline. Like he brought that shit in, and now
he overused it. But now I feel like he over his career he like makes it monotone a little bit.
Yeah,
but
mix and match it a little bit.
Sometimes I feel like too much can make it sound better. But to me, personally,
well, it's not too much to you.
Yeah,
it might not be too much to Danny. It might not be too much to other people. To me, I know your voice. I personally like your voice. Maybe just with a little bit of autotune because you have the not really a bassy, but what is it, a baritone level, which sounds good melodically.
Yeah.
You know, then adding the autotune to it takes away from who you actually are.
Yeah.
I think
I know what you mean.
I think a better I guess a better understanding of it would be the quality of it, right? It's so we obviously don't have like thousands and thousands of dollars of like worth of like producer level, things,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So you compare like I guess our songs and then on a free software platform
Yep.
that's literally like a website, the auto tune on that, which obviously isn't, I
I
wouldn't
don't
say
think
it's
it's
bad.
bad.
I don't think it's bad
No.
either. But then you compare it to like big producer, type of auto tune where it's not necessarily they plug in just like a plugin on it. It's more of like they sit down on this separate software,
Mhm.
which I think is called Melodyne or something like that, and they like piece by piece go to each vocal range.
That's like they got engineers and everything.
yeah,
in
it's
there.
like
I feel like we're better than. I'm not trying to be cocky,
Right.
but I feel like we're better than some of these rappers. I'm not even about to lie.
I mean, I won't disagree. Like, you're doing it and you're doing it on your own. You got to think a lot of these people that are out there,
They got multiple people.
they have the in. It's not what
Yeah.
you know to you know. You guys are learning the what, right, on your own. You don't
Just
have
two
to
creative
mind.
two creative minds can go a far way.
Exactly. And all it takes is an idea to boom and move
Yep.
out there, you know?
Mhm.
And I know you dog on me because I listen to Eminem, but that's what I grew up with, but that's how
Oh no,
he
I
got
have
big,
respect. I have
you know,
respect for him.
because he was doing a thing, doing it, and he just happened to stumble upon Dre and something, and
Just
one
you
thing
know,
led
one
to another.
person, next person connection is just crazy.
And he never quit. You
Yep.
know, he just kept going, kept getting dogged on and all these things, and he's
Yeah,
like, you know
that's-
what?
That's how a lot of these rappers are. Like, there's this one guy. His name's Nesman, and he gets so much hate, like a lot. Like
What's he hate for?
people just don't like his music.
it's crowd mentality. It's just
And then they get in the crowd and they hear
one person hates. So
Mm.
this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, and-
yeah.
they top on the trend, and then they get in that crowd whenever he's playing it like Rolling Loud. They're like, oh, and then they're like, oh, that was Nesman.
And-
Like, come on now.
And it's crazy because there's a video of Netspin in a crowd in another person's concert that same time that year. Literally 1 year, he grew just like super huge.
Mhm.
Like in that same time that year.
And then the same people hating are on the wave that like on his wave now. They're like, oh, he's so good now.
You got to give it to people, and I give it to both of y'all for, you know, the big thing is encouraging each other.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
don't tell him that his music sounds good just to make him feel better about
Because, yeah.
himself.
No, we're 100% honest.
It's good. It could be better.
Yeah.
Right? I think you could change this, or, you know,
Yeah.
give constructive feedback. You know what I mean? That's what's important. So the next thing is we're going to talk about technology again, and we're going to talk about AI. So what is y'all's opinion about AI music?
I'll start first because I know he has a lot to say. I think it's, for being honest, I think it's extraordinary seeing the power that AI has like come to kind of like formulate these type of songs and not only like write lyrics, but like make these instrumentals, and like how it's just become like AI wasn't known like five years ago, right? And then now it's
Not
like
mainstream anyway.
Yeah, it's been
yeah.
developed for years.
Yeah, but like it's like now it's like making songs that like it sounds like a person.
Mhm.
Like it genuinely sounds like a person.
Scary.
And it's crazy. It's great. And the lyrics are like only getting better. Like you hear an AI song like
Like
a
Drake
year ago.
or something, and it literally sounds just like Drake.
oh yeah, when we're talking about like replicating like artists too, that it's crazy.
It's only gonna get better too.
But you heard the stuff that Peanut's making, right? It sounds like Juice World.
Mm-hmm. It literally sounds
Yeah.
just like him.
Just like it. I mean, it has its problems, like
Yeah.
but it's getting better, and we're actually training it to do these
Yeah.
things. You know what I mean?
So yeah, that's really my opinion. I think it's cool.
What's the smile for, man?
I think it's just there's
I can.
I'd rather him just
Go piggyback.
Go ahead.
Tag team.
Okay. All right.
Tag
So I think AI is cool. Seeing it come up and like its abilities and watching it just like grow, but music is an artistic like thing,
Mhm.
and adding AI I feel like is really lazy, and it's just it takes like the talent and all like the like emotion and all that sort of stuff like out of it.
So glad he said this because I wanted to get into this debate. So we talked about talent and everything earlier. So if you're not creating your own beats, right, you're losing the talent, right? So I'm only debating this because I've been getting to the AI music because of Peanut and JoJo and stuff like that. We create a song every time here. I don't do it to get big in music or anything like that. I do it to get a point in a story and a point across, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, but it takes time because AI, you do have to train it. You have to, it evolves, right? And you learn with it. I use two separate AI things. I use ChatGPT to create my lyrics. I literally will have a conversation texting with ChatGPT. This is what I want to talk about. This is how I want to say it. And it'll spit out whatever. I'm like, nah, that's not getting the point across that I really want to get. So change this part about it. So it'll try it again. And then I'll do that. Maybe sometimes I'll do it like 15, 20 times just to get that. Right? So it takes a lot of time to get to where you want it to be. And then you got to take that over to another app to change the type of, to put it to the type of music. You know, you got to, I want it to be a storytelling hip hop with a bunch of 808s and stuff like that. And it'll come through and it'll be like, it'll give me this. And I'm like, that's not exactly what I want.
Well,
so I got to change the beat a little bit, you know. And then you got to go through and you got to train it. So you say it's lazy. It takes a lot of work to get there, right? So the lazy, I'm not dogging on what y'all are doing at all because you're hustling and you're doing it and you love it, but you're not creating your own beats. You're writing lyrics that are minimal, you know, at the point. So that's why I'm going to argue the laziness versus the creative and the artistic side of it, because it's artistic either way, because if you listen to some of the songs, they have a huge meaning, right? And I don't, personally, when I'm writing them, I don't stop until it's right. It gets the message across to what I'm trying to say. I sent you one the other day, you know, you're like, oh, it's not bad. I'm not going to lie.
It really wasn't that bad.
But that was on a whim. That was on, Landon texted me and I said, tell Danny, don't forget about the podcast this Friday. He said, yeah, Danny fitting to come up on Friday. I'm like, fitna? What are you talking about fitna? I'm like, all right, I'm going to chat GPT. I'm going to talk to my son about how the way they talk these days, and I need to write a song. Yeah. And I need to use all these Gen Z words and things like this in a rap song. And
I heard,
hip-hop, and so it kept going, and it spit it out. I'm like, actually, I like that. So let's take this over here. So I was like, all right, Suno, I need you to create a rap song that has these, you know, beats and this thing, and, you know, it needs to be comedic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the first one that came out, I was like, that sounds tight. I like that.
Yeah.
So that was quick, easy, and you could literally do it. You could tell Suno alone just to create me a song about blah blah blah. But to me, it doesn't create the lyrics to get the point across that I'm trying to make. That's why I use the two different, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you feel about that? I've been waiting to get that off my chest.
So why would you do all of that if you could just go in there and do it yourself and make your own song? But that'd be way more meaningful than going to AI and being like, you do this for me. Well, good, like a good boy, do that for me. Boom. Man, and then like, but with actual music, you got to create flows. You got to have rhythm. Like the AI sounds lifeless a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds lifeless. Like you'll hear it and be like, yeah, I'm rapping. I got passion, and it's like it doesn't sound right to me. I don't know.
A lot of the songs, like I know now I can probably pick out a lot of AI music if it's made with Suno specifically, because it has, like you're saying, it has that kind of like all Gatorades taste the same. They have their own flavor.
Yeah, they have that same like yeah.
You know, and like Monster energy drinks, like they all have their own flavor, but you can tell it's a Monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
kind of the same. I understand what you're saying with that.
I feel like there's two sides to that. I feel like what you do, you're using all that you can to your advantage. You're doing it in a more complex way, which I feel like that was really how it's supposed to be done. Like if you want, I guess, the best results out of it. But I do have to agree, it does feel lifeless. It does feel like there's not,
like if you were to put on some like real music and like hear like not just like some like rap. If you put on some like, I don't know, some like Michael Jackson, I don't know, something like that, you could hear like his emotion, like pure emotion, like you can hear it.
Right.
You can literally hear it. Or like The Weeknd or Kanye, like you can hear their emotion. And speaking of Kanye, he's been using AI recently, and he's trying to make it seem like it's the new auto-tune, which I can see that. I can see it. It could possibly. There's this rapper, his name's JPEG Mafia. He this Future song, he sampled it and he like put it in a different voice with AI, and he sampled it. It sounded really good. But there's many. I could see people in the music industry are starting to use it, but I think people can use it, but to like an extent.
You can use
You can
AI.
make it in a creative way. Kind of like auto-tune. Yeah, like that. That's what I'm saying. It may become something along those lines.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's in very early development. I could see it going far, though, for sure.
It's come a long way. Like, when JoJo and Peanut came around and did all the training initially, and they were playing their music, I was like, they made these songs, and I was like, what? You guys are like,
Yeah.
I don't know, we used AI. I'm like, what do you mean you used AI? And he's showing me, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, which it doesn't do great without putting work into it, though. Like, you have to get it to where you
Right.
want it. Like, you got to do multiple.
Same thing with real music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the point I'm trying to get to, is like both are valid. I'm not trying to get big and like everybody knows.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
making it
For your personal self kind of
for
thing.
this, to get my message across, because I'm literally trying to say what's coming from my heart and my mind to get my message across in all these songs. So, there's no way I could sit down and physically write a song and get the same meaning out every week. You know what I mean? I couldn't do it.
It's just not something that you do.
And make it sound right. Like I don't like what y'all are doing. That does take talent, like the flows, and like your words and rhyming and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at my lyrics,
I don't
but
say I don't have that capability. I probably could do it. It would take me months to do it, but
yeah.
what I'm trying to do is just spit out those songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just like that. And every artist or every character for the haunt, and every character's gonna have their own song. And
Yeah, it's easy. You'll be able to do that like way efficiently than going in there making like 16 different songs. Like that's I get what you mean.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know the right wording for it, but it's like the way you use it is completely different than a way an artist.
Yeah, like
would use it.
they'll go on TikTok and like it was like a year ago, 2 years ago, and you remember that Drake song with the Weeknd? It was like the one with the piano. Yes. And it was completely AI, and I feel like it's lame because they'll use AI Cardi and they'll go on there and they'll like make these songs and make it seem like it's Cardi, and they're getting profit off of it, and they're using somebody else's voice and beats and like. That's where
in that
it's
case,
like a no, it's a complete no.
Bad. Yeah.
They're getting profit and money off of that and saying it's Cardi. People believe it.
Exactly.
Like people that aren't Cardi fans will believe it.
Here we go. We're gonna do song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add a song here. So I'm gonna play the song. Hopefully we'll be able to hear it in here. And
Hopefully we won't get copyrighted.
it's my song. I created it.
I'm just playing.
So
Yeah. I thought you were gonna play like a
No Cap, All
regular song.
Facts is that song that I created, right?
Yeah.
See if it'll let me play the song real quick.
We run it up, no cap. Big vibes only, yeah, we on that track. I don't need no drama, keep it stacking like a rack. If you capping, then you lacking, we ain't rocking with that. Hey, bet lil bro, what's the move? We outside, no ghosting, yeah, we coming through. On God, I'm snapping, keep it real, that's the groove. If you salty, get to stepping, ain't no time for no mood. Stay woke, I ain't sleeping on no ops. Y'all be moving sus, better spin it like a clock. I be chilling with my kin, no fake love in my spot. If you slide and bring that energy, we litty, not a flop. No cap, all facts, yeah, we vibing like that. Finna
So
take
for
it to
everybody
the
that's
top,
out
watch
there,
it
this
pop,
song
that's a
is the one I
fact.
was
Big
talking
flex,
about
no
that I
stress, keep
created.
it 100, that's the test. If you capping on
I created on the whim, just to talk about, intentionally to play show how AI works. Like this song was literally created in like a 10-minute period where we were having that conversation during lunch. Fitna, I was like, I gotta create a song for this. How the kids talk these days and everything, and let's just do this. So we created it, came out, sent it to Danny yesterday. I think he's like, this sounds pretty good. It's not bad, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So what I try to do is take the description of that song and create just the beat for y'all, like the rap to or whatever. Horrible, absolutely horrible. And that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
it's evolving, right? But it does good at getting good beats when you put the right lyrics to it, but it doesn't seem to do very well with just creating a, what's it called, without music?
Yeah. It's got its
Acapella?
Acapella, yeah. It's got its limitations because it doesn't have that same life to it, like
Right.
a human person
It
would
can't
make.
hear what's going on, so to add other elements to it to make it sound better.
Yeah.
And with these, I can't literally use the same. Excuse me, I can't use the same beat to, like, if I wanted to add a lyric or change the lyrics, I can't say use the same beat because it doesn't know how to recreate that beat.
Yeah.
That's another problem with the AI. So Jojo, we're talking about like generational differences with music and stuff like that. When you were growing up, did your parents were like, I don't listen to that noise, you know, like I hate that music and all that. One of the things. What type of music did you listen to growing up?
Well, Dad always listened to country music and stuff like that, and the oldies and everything like that. But when I was listening to like rock and things like that, metal,
Mm-hmm.
no, that's devil music.
It's all noise.
Devil music.
Yeah.
One thing that we were talking about was like I think my generation, your generation probably is more susceptible to listening to our kids' generational music because music evolved in the 90s or the late 80s, 90s, 2000s, and we were listening to the evolution of rap and everything. So we grew up with it. So it's easier to understand where they're coming from when they're listening to this mumble rap or whatever we want to call it or people want to call it. But he made a good point about being melodic, like you listening to the melody of the music, you know, and then they have a lot of the folks they listen to is they get you hyped, they get you going, they get you in the mood and everything like that. It's just kind of like metal, you know, like a lot of the metal I listen to is you get your
Yeah,
head
if
going.
I could compare like a lot of the underground stuff, it can be in a way. It's not similar sounding really at all, but it's like the same, like I guess like a aggressiveness kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the beats will be like aggressive and be like like that.
It's more
Like jumping. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hype. Like I get it 100%.
Yeah.
So. And then we made another song called "Suck My Makeup Brush" for LA. It's a good one. Oh, so the universality of music. What do you think? One of the common you touched on it in the beginning. One of the common things about music is like, no matter what you're listening to, or everything. What is one of the main points about music?
Rhythm, flow.
Right.
You get all songs have a rhythm or a flow.
Well, it's art.
Yeah,
Right.
art.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
art.
is an art. It takes no
Very
matter what you're
artistic.
doing, whether you're finding a beat online that you like, downloading it, and you're all putting your own words to it. That is art. Like you're trying to get a point across as well. Like when you're painting something, right? It's art, right? So the universal, I can't say the word, but the whole point of it is expression, right? Trying to
Yeah,
get
expressing
out,
yourself.
trying to get out what you're trying to say, what you're trying to portray, things like that. And it's subjective, right? Like you said.
Very subjective. Music is the most subjective thing out there.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like you have to be open to many things in life, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to grow as a person, right? And the bond that we are able to have, you know, like the bond that y'all have together doing the music, I'm more proud of that than anything. You know, you guys are sitting there.
Yeah, we bond over music a lot. Like all my friends I've had in the past and stuff, like if we don't, I feel like a big like major like factor in like our relationship or like friendship is like music, like common music taste. If we don't have a common music taste,
Can't get along.
can't really get along because I love music. It's one of my favorite
How does
things.
Josh fit in? And Josh, how do you?
No,
fit
Josh
in?
is Josh. Josh is a great guy. I love
Josh
Josh.
is a great guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
You
good
know,
guy.
I listened to y'all's conversations. Like we were driving back from Lanes. You know, it's kind of corny. I'm your dad, I'm like, oh, my boy,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
got
yeah.
good friends and stuff. But I listen to the conversations y'all have because I see and feel the bond that y'all have together. You're like, oh yeah, man, I like this. I think you could release this one. We should do this. I remember doing that with my friends growing up. My best friend John, like we were going to be in business together growing up. We had a automotive interior business in high school and stuff like that. But we bonded, we grew, and it built that friendship, that bond. But that music is growing y'all together, and you encouraging him. Like he, as my son, I've seen him give up on things like that. And I don't get angry. It's semi frustrating to see that. But having the encouragement from somebody else, like
I was by myself at that time. I didn't have really anybody.
Well,
so
me, like But he's like, you're my dad. You're supposed to tell me these things. That's how he was taking it. But I was seriously trying to encourage him, and then seeing him like give up because I'm not good enough. Like it was.
I told you I was gonna come back to it.
I wasn't angry. I wasn't. I was more discouraging for him, right? But to see y'all being able to push each other, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
So. I got a lot of topics here. We've talked on every one of them actually already. So this same type of thing every week. We have this as a guide, but we never really reference it. I'll scroll through to see if we caught everything, and we've touched everything already. So, Jojo, do you have anything to add to this? I know you joined late, but we started kind of late and we started going. So.
Well, like with the AI stuff, Peanut's been doing this stuff for a long, 3 years now?
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't the human element in it. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very similar, and I don't take anything away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I get where people say, well, there's copyright and all this stuff for the major artists and everything like that. How do you do that with AI? It sounds just like Juice World, and his family's not going to get credit for this stuff. I get that too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just brought that up before he came in here.
Yeah,
they're getting like money off of them and stuff.
Yeah. But the funky thing with that is most of these AI generators, the only money that they're taking in is the money to run the system.
Right.
It's not to actually utilize any of it for the music itself or to make a fortune from it. It's just to run all the systems and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just to make it more available for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of, because I was talking to Chuck about this too. In the 80s, Run DMC, when they went to Queen and David Bowie, they said, we're going to say, we want to sample that song, Under Pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of them said no. Or you have to pay this. No.
Right.
They knew the power that group was going to bring. And Aerosmith took it to another level with Run DMC and actually got on stage with them and created a music video with them. Sampling and stuff like that. That's where that started. And I think that's where a lot of this AI stuff came from too. There's a lot of
sampling. I was just talking about one artist. He utilized AI, like he took one song and he used AI to like make it a female voice and like flipped it, and it's crazy.
Well, that's just like Blue Cantrell. That's a dude.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a woman's voice.
Yeah.
There's a couple artists like that
that
have done that.
Well,
the people monetizing off of like Juice WRLD and stuff like that, like that's crazy. Using his voice. Literally.
I think it's somewhat disrespectful in a way because he's passed, and I don't
know. Some people like Peanut. He does it in a very positive way, though.
Yeah.
He's not making money.
No, I'm talking about people who upload it out there, and people will they'll literally upload it and imitate him, like act like they're them. Like literally, the one guy I was talking about that imitates Cardi and uses the AI. He literally makes music videos. He's wearing the same fits. He's doing everything just like him. And he's getting all these people that are like, oh, this Cardi song is hard, but it's not even him. In the music video, this music video by Cardi is hard. It's not even him.
Yeah.
Impersonating.
And literally impersonating.
People impersonate Elvis all the time, making good money. And Michael Jackson, and
Jackson,
Yeah.
That is another good point. Vocal um replications, like influences in like the voice.
It's crazy how good they're getting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when Peanut showed me, I was like, "What? His lyrics, but it sounds just like Juice WRLD." Like,
I think Juice WRLD is like the most like the closest one there is right now.
Mhm.
At all other voices,
Right.
because so many people have done
I
it.
have
And
an
it's
app
like,
on my phone that has all those different things. It sounds like Obama and Trump and all those things.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
nearly as good as these AI apps are doing, but for the music and stuff, though, it's crazy. So before we close, actually, do y'all have anything to say before we close?
I do. So what is the standpoint, I guess everybody in the room, on cap rap?
What is cap rap?
like rappers who will get on their songs and be like, yeah, I can't explain it. Yeah, I'm popping. Yeah, I'm doing Molly and Zane's, and
I'll admit,
I'm doing this.
basically what I do. Basically what
Me
we
too.
do. It's like,
Actually, I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah.
So this is something I've questioned you about, right? Because some of the music you say and you sing about is the exact opposite of who you are as a person,
Yeah.
right? The drugs and those hoes and like all those things. Like you could pull the women.
I don't do any of those.
I'm just saying, but I'm like, so just for the sake of views and listens and all that, you're going to change who you are and disrespect your own character just for the music. That's my point.
Yeah.
Right. And I try to do the AI thing, right? About here, I'm going to create this. I'm going to create these lyrics for Landon. Explain like you can speak your mind. And it's kind of the point of this podcast, right? You can talk about your feelings and all those things. Is it going to get the people you want? Maybe not. But my point is, if you're looking at the people that you're trying to target, is that the people you really want to be associated with? The drugs, because people that listen to that, a lot of them, that's what they're doing.
that's a good point. And for me, like my character's like 100% completely opposite from like, what I'm rapping and what we're rapping in our songs and everything. And like you said, like the audience that we want to attract, it's like, do we, it's like not like targeted at anyone, but it's like, do we really, is it like, do we really want to associate like, I guess, ourselves with like people that we necessarily aren't?
Right.
It's like
So it's called cap rap. I didn't know there was an official term to it.
Yeah.
Is that the definition of it?
Cap rap.
Cap-
So cap is a lie.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The song I created talked about capping. Capping is lying. Right.
Yeah.
So cap rap. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Learn something new every
Well,
day.
that's what a lot of these rappers do now. But did you ever see that Lil Tecca thing?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Is it
Go ahead and say it.
is
Go ahead and
just
say
for
it.
the hype?
Well, no, go ahead and say it.
So there's a lot of like argument as in like I showed my coworker, he's kind of like an old head, right? I showed my coworker my music, and then he asked me, he was like, do you really do all that stuff in your song? And I was like, no, obviously. And he was like, all right, I was just checking. And it's like, there's a lot of, especially like, I guess like older generations, they listen to it and they're like, like, do you really do that? And but it's like,
Yeah, I remember you told him one time he said a bar and you're like, have you ever done the...
no. Yeah.
Remember we were at our old house and Danny was on the phone and I'm like, we won't talk about what it was about.
Yeah.
Have you done that? Like you're lying on yourself.
I have now, okay.
All right. To set the record straight.
But yeah, and it's like think about it like this. Think about it like Interstellar. Like, is that based on a true story?
Like the movie
Obviously
Interstellar.
not, right? So, but it's all about telling a story. It's the director's job is for you to sit down, watch the movie, and enjoy it.
Mhm.
If you like the movie,
It's not based off a
his
true
job
story.
is done. His job is done.
Same thing with music. If you make a song and has good rhythm and flows,
And you're
and
bopping your head,
you're bopping your head,
and
and you enjoyed it, it doesn't have to be a true story.
that's really the point. Is
But you don't worry about the image that it could put on you, like from other people in the world.
I mean, honestly,
What's the difference?
I personally don't care because I know who I am, but just seeing it, it's what everybody else does in this genre. So, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it sounds good. Like, it's not good stuff, but I think it sounds good. I'm not gonna
in the face.
I'm not gonna ever act on that ever. I would never act on it, but I think it sounds good.
It's making sure you're proclaiming what kind of things you're doing. Like what kind of like rapper. Like for example, like for me, like I said at the beginning, I tend to do more like melodic things. I like more like melodic. I want people to enjoy the rhythm, the sound. I want them to catch on to it. Not necessarily be like, oh yeah, he's talking about like shooting guns and everything. Like no, that's not my focus on like my songs. I want people to enjoy the sound. Right.
So my point is, why even talk about this? Because you can get the same point across with the melodic side of it without saying those types of things. If that's not the person you are, you know what I mean? You're not the person who's out there seeking hoes and dropping the hose and dropping guns and robbing banks and doing drugs and doing the Molly. Like that's not who y'all. I know y'all. That's not who you are.
Okay, so then that begs a new question. Sex sells, right?
True.
Okay, well, why are all of your alcohol commercials the chicks on the beach in the skimpy little number and everything like that? The dudes walking out with shorty board shorts and a ripped up body and everything like that. It's the same thing.
Right.
Good marketing.
That's what it is, and the music does the same exact thing.
I understand that.
I
like the explanation.
They can misrepresent themselves all that they want. I mean, I'm sure Jay-Z hasn't done half of the shit that he talks about. No,
I don't know.
he hasn't. I guarantee you he hasn't.
Maybe I don't know.
No.
But I get it.
It also depends on what type of song you're going for. If you're going for like I like this rapper. His name is Osama Son. He has more like aggressive, like he's gonna punch you in the face type of thing.
DMX type.
Yeah, kind of, but like it's
Influential from.
Yeah, it's more so aggressive. Like I can't be on there and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go achieve my goals. Like I can't. I can't go there. I'm gonna achieve my goals and do good today.
You honestly could. Like if you came.
But it's not gonna grab that audience.
Like so, talking about heavy metal and stuff like that. Like if I played you some of the Christian, I can't call it death metal because it's Christian music.
Mm-hmm.
But it has the same sound, but they're literally talking about Jesus and stuff like that. When I was asking all this stuff I listened to, and people are like, oh my God, it's devil music. I'm like, actually, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So they can sing about Jesus and a good thing and all that stuff, and it sounds like, Rrr.
Yeah, there's a band, they're Crystal Castles, it's like EDM, like, type of thing, and they have a lot of music that's like, it sounds like crazy, like aggressive, like devilish, but they're talking about God and everything on it.
Right. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, I understand like sex sells, and it's. I love the analogy that you used about the movie. It's a fake movie and everything, but it got people's minds going, and doesn't mean that's who we are.
Yeah.
So what happens when you're doing these music and these songs, and you get a crowd, and they're like, "Oh, these guys are actually cool white dudes," and all that. They don't do like. Then you lose all your hype because these people are like, "That's not who they are. Fuck that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not rap about and sing about who you actually are, what you actually do, get the hype from the people that are like you who want to do the same thing you're doing, and get the right crowds. So you're not going out there.
I feel like either way, the sound of it is still going to attract those people for the type of stuff that we kind of go for.
Influential, motivational.
Yeah, like the beats. I feel like it's still, no matter what you're really rapping about, most of the time I can't understand what they're saying. I'm being honest, I can't. But you don't even know what they're saying. You don't even. Most of the time, people don't even pay attention to that at all. They're just like, they hear the flows and what they're like, the rhythm and like the beat, and they're just like, they're going crazy. Right. They're going crazy. It doesn't really matter what they can get on there and talk about Nickelodeon and Yabba Dabba Doo. I don't even know. And it would just bang and it'd sound good.
Right.
Yeah.
You're clarifying my point even more. Why undercut yourself and rap about the things that you're not, and make yourself look like that's who you are, and rap about the things that you really are to portray who you really are, and it sounds the same. You're not undercutting who you are as a person, deep down who you are as a person. I understand it though. It's a good conversation.
Yeah, I guess I can testify to that. Like it's like obviously, yeah, like we said, like the things that we like rap about and sing about in our songs is completely different to like who I am.
Right.
Like I'm I obviously
It
like,
sounds good. I mean,
yeah, it's like I don't go out, you know, like you said, I don't go out doing drugs. I don't go out doing all this stuff and everything. Like, if anything, on the contrary, like,
right.
you know,
Au contraire.
I'm contrary. You know, I'm focused on school and everything. You know, me personally, I'm a follower of Christ and everything. So it's like you have a point. Am I pushing away my morals? Am I pushing away my
That's the
image and
point I'm
everything?
trying to
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
So I feel like I can definitely agree on some point to that. But yet again, it's like it's knowing the industry, knowing our goal, my goal, his goal is to blow up, blow up off music, and there's certain strategies to it, and there's certain things that like you have to do, and you have to like I guess sacrifice.
You have to like post something at a certain time. You have to like
Yeah.
certain lyrics. I mean, we could be the different ones and go in there and do that, but it just I don't think it
The
would.
likelihood of hitting is
Yeah, it's not as much. Like
and
Violence sells. The drugs. We're talking about the drugs.
all of that. It gets more
Talk about
attention.
all
It
that
grabs
stuff.
more people.
That's the conversations that you hear in the hood and everything like that.
Yeah.
I get it.
You know, you have to look at what audience you're actually reaching.
yeah,
But we're not getting on to being talking about gang. I'm never talking about a gang. No, I don't even want to be involved with that at all. Ever.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying because it could also lead to those types of things.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
These motherfuckers ain't no hood.
yeah. And it's also being careful like what you say
Right.
in
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
songs too. Yeah.
No, I get it. I'm glad we had the conversation because I understand now. I understand more. I mean, I understood before, because you explained it to me, but the analogies helped a lot for me, actually. So, anything else, JoJo? Landon? I appreciate everybody joining. I want to do a shout out again to
Nurka, NRKA.
And Risky RXSKEY.
They both have some songs together. They're doing some individual things as well. Listen to them, share it, whatever. Encourage them. Give them some words of encouragement. Constructive criticism. If it sounds like ass, tell them it sounds like ass. Tell them what you don't like about it, what you do like about it, because everybody has to hear both to grow.
As long as it's constructive, I still have feelings.
Feelings aren't.
Are not facts. They're valid, but they're not facts.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I want to give another shout out to Ink Nation. Go to this tattoo convention. It's going to be a huge success here in Middle Georgia. Yep, May 9th, 10th, and 11th. They're doing big things. And then our event that we were doing with Hunt for a Cause, Shenanigans Shamrock Escape. We're doing, JoJo's been busy today, getting ready for this weekend to start practicing and things like that. And our nonprofit focuses on local social issues here in the Middle Georgia area. And, we're trying to make a difference. If we make a conscious effort to try to make a difference, if everybody did it, JoJo said this several weeks ago, if everybody made a little bit of effort every day, this world would be a much better place.
I understand you totally.
Yep. So, the final reflection of courage this week is music isn't just something we listen to, it's something we share, right? We get to talk about these things. Your music sucks, so why? It gets us engaged in some of these conversations at times, and a lot of, I use songs for meanings and to get a point across. Step outside your playlist and explore a little bit. I challenge everybody to do that this week. You might find some harmony in unexpected places, kind of like to Danny's point, listen to the melody, listen to the melodic side of it, and
let music grow.
Feel it.
Yeah, exactly. Feel it. So, with that, again, these are all opinions. These aren't facts that we talk about. Some of it might be facts, but we're not going to state it as facts because these are conversations that we have, natural conversations, and they flow as we would just talk if we ran into each other on the side of the road. I hope no topics touched any sensitive subjects, but if they did, there is professional help out there, and we'll play the disclaimer when we head out. If you need help, seek the help. Don't be ashamed. Reach out to your friends. Be encouraging to one another. If you sense someone's changed their ways, reach out to them, talk to them. That simple conversation can sometimes change somebody's life.
Or save their life.
100%. Just asking that question. So, again, we have a song created with AI. What do you call it, Dad? There's no soul. What do you say?
I said soulless.
It's soulless.
So
I'll play the disclaimer, then we'll get into the outro song, and we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good evening.
Thank you for joining us here on Courage to Converse. Our intention is to discuss tough topics, reflect on personal experiences, and explore paths for growth and understanding. I want to acknowledge that some of these conversations may have touched on sensitive or challenging issues. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for professional advice or support. If you or someone you know is struggling, resources are available to help. In the U.S., you can call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or text HOME to 741741 to reach the crisis text line. Remember, our goal here is to spark meaningful conversations while fostering respect, understanding, and personal growth. See you next time.
Strings scream loud, a story unfolds. Legends carved in riffs of gold. Drums like thunder, alive and bold. The echoes of where the fire is told. Beats drop heavy, words hit the mark. Truth in the rhythm, light in the dark. Bars hit hard, heart set ablaze. Each beat a legacy, each sound a phrase. Two worlds collide, the lines are blurred. One sound rises, one voice is heard. Generations tied by the rhythm we found. No matter the style, it's all one sound. Don't box the art, let it breathe free. Your noise is my symphony. It's not the genre, it's what you feel. The rhythm we share, the bond that's real. We rise, we fall, we sing, we scream. The sound unites us in every dream.